Hey everybody, it's Matt from the house, and in this video, we're gonna check out the Union binding ladder for the 21-22 season. Let's check these out. All right, first up, we've got the Flight Pro at 170 bucks. This thing got a major overhaul this year, and this does not look like a $170 binding. In fact, the ankle strap, this used to be on the $550 binding a few years ago, but since they've come out with new straps for those, it's moved down to this binding. But we're still doing aluminum heel loop on this thing, fully adjustable. You get that playful feel under your foot, sturdiness in and out of your turns. We've also done a little bit more of a basic design compared to the Falcore high back too, and the one-piece design. But again, flex where you need it, stiffness where you need it, and again, at 170 bucks, this is a hard binding to beat. All right, next up at 210, we've got the STR, and at this price range, this is actually one of my favorite bindings. The STR's got a little sturdier feel in the base plate, so you're getting a little quicker reaction, and then also we're doing that exo frame strap on this thing too, so instead of adding a lot of padding, we're basically taking away the padding, shaping this lower strap, so it's a little bit softer and it gives you the comfort, and then you got that stiffer piece going across that Union has always had in their bindings, so the binding or the strap doesn't flex when you're going from your heel side to toe side edge, so you get an ultra quick response. So again, for that $200 price range binding, this thing is really, really hard to beat. Okay, next up at 240, we've got the Contact Pro. So pretty rad binding. This was actually, it's been in the lineup for a while and it's definitely evolved over the years. But for those couple extra bucks, we're getting a little bit of an upgrade in the strap here. The high back has got flex where you need it, stiffness where you need it. And then the base plate on this one is where you're getting a lot. So you're actually getting a really smooth feel, but you're still getting quickness edge to edge. We're utilizing Union's bushing system really, really well on this one and doing the mini disc. So this will only fit on boards with a 2x4 hole pattern, but it's pretty standard on a lot of boards nowadays, but it's basically shrinking down that footprint of the base plate, so when the board flexes, the binding can actually flex with the board a lot better. But great all mountain, go anywhere, do anything binding, kind of that mid flex, so it's something that rules in the park, but you can also take it in the powder as well. Okay, next up is the Union Force. This binding has literally been Union's binding since day one, and it just gets upgrades every single year. So coming in at 280, we're definitely getting a much sturdier base plate. This one's gonna be a little bit more of a medium stiff, so you get a really, really quick reaction. So for those couple extra bucks, you're getting that. You're also getting a big upgrade in the strap. We're going to the new Exo strap on this one. The high back, again, it's got flex where you need it, tons of flex. These holes are not just there for looks. They actually do give that binding a torsional flex, but again, when you lean back on this thing, you get super, super stiffness. So flex where you need it, stiffness where you need it. But again, this has been in Union's lineup since day one, and there's a good reason. It's a great all mountain, go anywhere, do anything binding that nobody's gonna hate. Okay, so next up at 320, we've got the Strata. Amazing binding, especially this colorway, one of my favorites. The pictures online really don't do it justice. It's kind of a metallic purple color changing looking thing. And obviously there's a few other colorways available. But the thing that makes this binding amazing and what gives you that couple extra bucks is you're getting the Vapor Light bushing system on this thing and the mini discs. So this whole base plate in general, it's a medium flexing binding, but you actually have a real smooth feel without sacrificing quickness. So you get that edge to edge response that you need, but it's a very, very smooth feel at the same time. It's kind of amazing how Union was able to do both of those things. We're definitely getting a big upgrade in the strap on this thing. Again, super, super comfortable, but quick reacting strap. And again, the high back on this thing, very, very minimal, helps keep the binding super, super light. Again, gives you the flex where you need it, but still gives you that stiffness where you need it. And it is an asymmetrical strap too, so it kind of fits with your boots a little bit better. All right, next up is the Atlas coming in at 350. This binding has got a whole new design from the ground up for this season, and it's amazing. This binding's always been a great seller in their lineup. It's kind of that medium stiff, good binding for somebody that wants to ride all mountain, is probably not spending a lot of time in the park, unless you like to have stiffer bindings in the park. Nothing wrong with that. But we've got that sturdier base plate. We've got the upgrade on the straps on this thing. We've got an all new high back, quick release on the back, so you can adjust that forward lean on the go. High back's got flex where you need it, stiffness where you need it. Just an amazing binding. And if this thing wasn't a best seller for the last however many years it's been out, it's been, God, probably about, I can't even remember how long it's been out, but again, a whole new design this year. And if you had the Atlas in the past, you're probably gonna wanna get the new version. Okay, and last up at 370, we've got the Falcore. So the Falcore is Travis Rice's binding, and again, it's kind of for the stuff that Travis Rice likes to do. Mostly that all-mountain rider, probably not spending much time in the park, but a couple big upgrades on it. We've got the Exo Frame 5.0, so the newest strap this year, and the high back is actually a dual component high back with a forged carbon. So again, you get that flex where you need it, but you get ultimate stiffness for super quick response onto your heel side edge. All right, thanks for checking out the Union Men's Binding Ladder for 21-22. Obviously, you can see if you spend more, you get more. It doesn't necessarily mean it's better, but you definitely get those little upgrades to make the bindings ride, you know, a little bit closer to how you want them to ride. But if you got any questions beyond what we talked about in the video, leave some comments down below. We're on there every single day trying to answer your questions. So we want to make sure we get you in some rad gear, but we most importantly want to make sure that it's going to fit you and your riding style. Subscribe, definitely get that bell on too so you can find out when all the new videos drop. And no matter what kind of you're riding, whether you're riding in the park, you're riding in the backcountry, or you want a soft or stiff binding, grab yourself a pair of Unions and get out and ride, because any day of riding is a good day of riding.